Good afternoon and happy Wednesday to all of your sunshiny faces, guys. Oh my gosh, I am so tired today. I cleaned the kitchen, which honestly, I think probably ended up taking less time to clean than like the bathroom did. I think it took me longer to clean the bathroom. Just because I was like scrubbing the tile and the floor and like all that kind of stuff and like around the toilet and like cleaning everything. I think, like I said, probably ended up taking me longer. And the kitchen ended up, I think, taking me less time, but I'm more tired from cleaning that than I was from cleaning the bathroom. And I think it was because I was like standing up on my feet, like cleaning the counters, you know, that kind of stuff. Whereas like when I was like cleaning the shower, like I was like in the shower, like in the bathtub on my hands and knees scrubbing the bathtub, you know, like that kind of thing. But I think because I was standing for so long, like just like, you know, cleaning off the counters and cleaning the, you know, like surfaces and stuff like that, I think more than the like in the bathroom, you know, I was, like I said, more like cleaning the floor and or like things where I was like, you know, not standing for. I think that I'm more tired from, like I said, doing that today than I was from cleaning the bathroom on Monday. And then I was like, well, maybe it's also kind of a combination of that and like doing the yard work for my aunt yesterday. But I didn't feel tired when I woke up this morning, which I didn't get up real early. I think I got up like maybe around 9 o'clock or something like that. Like 9:10, sometime in between there. And I thought like, oh, maybe that's why like I was tired, but I didn't feel tired this morning or like sore. Like I feel sore today. I don't know why from like cleaning I'd feel sore. So the other reason too, guys, is that not only like because my parents wanted to hire me instead of hiring like a cleaning service or something like that, have me do like full-on cleaning, you know, and so the other reason that actually works well for this week though is that yesterday when we were at my aunt's house, my mom ended up offering to have Father's Day over here. So we're still not going to have the fence up. We're supposed to get that in next Wednesday, so within 3 days after the party. But we're just having actually my aunt and uncle, who's my grandma's sister. I think I was telling you guys that yesterday, my great aunt. And then my aunt, her daughter, and uncle, and then my 2 cousins, and maybe my cousin's boyfriend. I don't know for sure. My mom just said like to let her know like who is coming, because my other uncle and aunt and their kids are actually, I think, like out camping or something like that for like Father's Day. So we're just gonna do that with them for this week, or for Sunday, and just do like a little like barbecue kind of thing at our house, which, like I said, will be a nice little start into the what's it called, into the hopefully a lot more outdoor parties to come. And once we have our fence up and we don't have to worry about, you know, like the dog gate fence thing that we kind of, our little mismatched fencing that's up right now to keep the dogs corralled. We don't have to worry about that anymore, like, you know, the yard and everything like that too. And since I'll be doing the cleaning like, you know, weekly, we can also, like, honestly guys, it's so weird because now that everything has been like hardcore cleaned, you know, like I moved the microwave, cleaned under the microwave, you know, like that kind of thing. Like normally, like, oh, I just, you know, I was using the counter for whatever, was cooking on it or something like that, I'll just wipe it down. But like it's been a while since like we moved the whole microwave out, cleaned underneath that, you know, and that kind of stuff. And like doing it weekly, it doesn't have to be like such a big process, you know. And like on top of that too, like I ended up moving this like table thingy kind of thing that we have in our kitchen, and actually scrubbed the baseboards around there because the baseboards were not looking too hot either. So I ended up doing that, and some other baseboards in some of the other areas. And then I just noticed too, like, you don't even really notice a whole lot, like how much like those high traffic areas, like near the doorknobs, not even like the doorknobs, but like near it, like on the door, or like on the what's it called, the wall, like near the doors and stuff like that, like where you might put your hand if you're going to open the door, or where you might you know, just like that kind of stuff, you know, even in our like archway that we have too. Like when you're standing there and stuff like that, you might lean up against it and you're putting your, you know, the oily hands and stuff like that, and just like all that kind of stuff, and or dirt from like that kind of stuff just like gets on there, and you don't even really notice until you've actually like cleaned it and you're like, wow, that looks really clean now, instead of it being like kind of a little faded or something like that, you know. Whereas like you also kind of just get used to it a little bit too, like you don't necessarily maybe notice that, like, oh, like, you know, or all of a sudden it just really like pops out at you, you know. But unless it's like something like, oh, the dogs came in with muddy paws, is this stuff that slowly accumulates, and you're not like, oh my gosh, like I have to clean that, like it's just been slowly progressively getting worse. So all of a sudden you just notice it and you're like, wow, like that's really dirty and it really needs to be cleaned. And then when you clean it, you're like, wow, that's really clean, and that's what it's supposed to look like again. But so yeah, I did that, and I love the new sanitizing mop that we have, guys. I think I told you maybe we had a sanitizing mop like a Shark a long, not super long time ago, but a while ago. I loved it, guys. I loved being able to use it and just like, you know, a quick clean and stuff like that, and it made the floor so nice and like, you know, all that kind of stuff, because you didn't have to lug around a mop and a bucket and, you know, like cleaning solution and stuff like that and everything. And it wasn't, you know, it's this huge process when you have to actually mop and like hardcore scrubbing the floors and stuff like that. But just using that like once a week is like super, you know, or even more often. Like if, you know, the dogs come in again with muddy feet or whatever, we can just use that and clean it up instead of having to again lug the whole mop out and everything like that, and the bucket and the, you know, all that kind of stuff, and the cleaning solution and stuff like that. Instead you can just use the sanitizing mop and it's all nice and clean. And again too, it's kind of that thing where sometimes you don't even necessarily notice, like just from like, again, those high traffic areas, like in specific areas, like where we come into like the kitchen from the living room, I noticed that especially right there, there was a lot of like, that tile was more dirty than what like underneath the table, and it was just because it was kind of, you know, from like walking across it and stuff like that. And again, one of those things that you don't necessarily notice, but you're like, that definitely does need to be cleaned. So Matthew, I think, cleaned like hardcore cleaned for like Mother's Day in like the bathroom, and I think in the living room and in the kitchen as well. You know, but it's something that needs to be done every single week at least, especially with 3 dogs that live to shed in our house and 5 people that live in a not huge house, you know. So again, we have a lot of high traffic areas that need to be cleaned often. So yeah, I ended up, like I said, doing that today and cleaned the kitchen, but it's also like a 2-for-1 because we are going to be having Father's Day. So obviously there'll be like little spot cleanup kind of stuff that we'll need to do before Sunday, but for the most part the shower's all been, you know, scrubbed and like hardcore scrubbed, guys. I like cleaned all the grout and everything like that. I didn't just, my mom's thing that she loves to do is just spray it, leave it, and then rinse it off, and like that's fine, but again, sometimes there are things that really need to be like hardcore scrubbed. So the other thing too that I didn't even realize we have like daily shower cleaner, so I've been using that every night after I take a shower, since I'm normally the last person to take one at night. And so I've been using that, and I'm like, the shower is still like, it still looks, and I love the way it smells too, guys. It smells just really clean, like the shower spray. And then I wake up in the morning and it's like still all nice and clean, and I'm like, wow, like, you know, that it helps like prevent like I think mildew and stuff like that as well. But just like being in like that area of the house now, like everything is so clean and it's so nice, and like I want to be in there more. And Matthew's also painting all of the doors, so he's working on one right now, and we should have all the hall doors painted by Sunday as well. So yeah, guys, those are our few projects to get done before Father's Day. I also really wanted to get out into the garden because my aunt was like, oh, I want to see, or I guess again, guys, I think it's my grand aunt wanted to see like our garden and everything. And I said that I wanted to show her the, my garden and what I've gotten done so far this year. And she saw it some last year, but since she's coming over for the party on Sunday. And so I was like, yeah, I want to show you, but I've just weeded one flower bed I think it was last week maybe, or 2 weeks ago or something like that. So that one's not too bad. The other flower beds do need to be, what's it called, weeded. A lot of weeding needs to be done in a lot of them. And the problem was it was raining pretty much all day today, and pretty much most of the afternoon it was like 50 degrees out, guys. I think it was 56 the last time I looked, which was like at 8 o'clock or something like that. And I think when I checked also at like 5 or 6 o'clock, it also said like 50 something. So it was like really chilly out. It was okay earlier today, like kind of warm, but then in the afternoon it got real cold. And tomorrow I think it's supposed to be back up to like 70 something, but I think it might rain. Or maybe it's not supposed to rain tomorrow. It might rain on Friday. So if it doesn't, like, I need to try and get outside, get all of my gardening done tomorrow, and then also come inside and then clean the living room, because the living room is the last of my 3-day project for like cleaning and everything like that. And obviously the first week, like getting into a routine of doing it and everything like that, and what needs to be done in the order and all that kind of stuff. And again, I won't have to do quite as much hardcore cleaning as I did today, so it should be faster. But it took me probably maybe like 2 hours or more today to do that. I think I ended up going and cleaning sometime maybe around 1:30, and I think I finished around 4 o'clock. So might have been a little bit longer than like an hour and a half, or 2.5 hours, or something like that. So I think it was, like I said, maybe around 2 hours. But I feel like the bathroom took me a lot longer to clean because, again, I was in the shower cleaning it for so long. So I think that honestly was like maybe around 2 to 3 hours or something. Maybe not though, because I did end up leaving to go with my mom to her doctor's appointment, and then came back and then finished cleaning it. So I was gone for like, I think an hour or something like that in between there. But it just felt like it dragged on for a really long time. But I will say though, the bathroom is probably my favorite room to clean, because it is like, everything's easy to clean. Like, you're supposed to get, like the walls and the shower and all that kind of stuff wet and everything like that, and to clean it off. But like in the kitchen, it's very like, I don't want to soak the counters, you know what I mean? Like, instead, like, I can soak the bathtub, it doesn't matter, water gets in it anyway, and just be like real messy with the water in the bathroom and stuff like that. But in the kitchen, I can't be like that so much, and just like soak things that need to be cleaned and all that kind of stuff. And even like in the what's it called, in the like the vanity and stuff like that, and even the tile, because it's tiled in the bathroom, but in the kitchen I feel like I'm very much more like, okay, I don't want to get the cabinet soaking wet because they're wood, that kind of thing. So I feel like it's easier to clean the bathroom, just because like if I wind up spraying water, getting water on something, it's not a huge big deal. Whereas in the kitchen, like, I got the windowsill to make sure it doesn't get wet, because that's wood, and the countertop or the counters, and I can't have the inside of the oven or the top of the stove soaking wet and stuff like that. So I have to make sure that like I clean it without making it like just drenched, because that's, like I said, like I go to rinse off the shower and I can just get it as wet as I need to, because it all just drains out and stuff like that. But yeah, not so much when you're doing the kitchen. So that's why I think the bathroom's my favorite room to clean. Honestly though, I feel like our kitchen probably winds up getting more messy than the bathroom. Like, the bathroom can be a gross and dirty place, but I feel like our kitchen winds up being more messy because of like the stove, like somebody spills something, and or stuff is just like the floor and stuff like that. Where I feel like in the bathroom, like, it's not like we don't wind up spilling like today, right after I ended up cleaning, I made dinner for tonight, and I ended up dropping a few noodles on my freshly cleaned stove, right on the stove, right after I cleaned it, the pasta sauce. I was like, oh my gosh, I just cleaned this. And it was right on the burner too that I was using, so it was still hot, so I had to wait till it cooled off before I could wipe it down. And so I did wipe it down, but I was like, right after I just cleaned this too. So yeah, it's like that kind of stuff, you know. And then like that happens to, like, you know, a few times out of the week, and then the stove's all dirty again. Whereas like the shower, I've been using the spray and it's been staying clean and stuff like that, so that's not a huge big deal. But anyways though, guys, I need to go take a shower and head to bed. I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.